Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ninth edition of the Factly Digest. I'm Parvati Mohan, and I lead the audio production visual efforts. Sorry, sorry, the audiovisual production efforts here at Factly. And the Factly Digest is a series of YouTube lives that we are doing from our in-house studio. This happens once every fortnight, where we basically talk to you about the teams at Factly, what all the exciting work that they're doing, and we come to you with updates from any of the two teams as to what is the most exciting work that they did over the past fortnight, or a lot of times it could also be something that's very relevant to our daily lives. So, for those of us who are new to Factly, our memberships are now live, so do consider checking them out. You can click the join button next to our channel name, and it's a small way for you to show your support for the kind of work we do, which is mostly data journalism, fact checking. So definitely consider that, and you will get priority responses to comments on our videos, and of course, custom emojis that you can use on many formats, including the live chat here. Which reminds me, please do drop in your questions in the live chat to the side of your screen, and we will take them towards the end of the live, or maybe even in between if they happen to be relevant to the person we are talking to at that moment. So that said, I think let's quickly get into the fortnightly update for the first team that we have today, which is the fact check team. And joining me is Harshavardhan from the fact check team. Hi, Harsha.
Hello.
So yeah, what are the kind of broad trends seen in the kind of posts that you debunked over the past 2 weeks?
Over the past fortnight, the violence in misinformation related to Haryana violence
Right.
and the surrounding areas
Hmm.
has emerged as a prominent trend over the past fortnight. So, before beginning, I want to answer some things. During our last YouTube session, one of our viewers asked about who was responsible for the violence in Haryana. So, the answer is the police are slowly investigating the violence and the events that led to the violence and are arresting the suspect and accused.
Hmm.
So now coming to the trends over the past fortnight, usually when such type of violence events happen in the country, we receive these unrelated old videos
Hmm.
are shared as the recent that are related to the events.
Hmm.
Similarly, in this case, we came across multiple videos, like for example. One video from West Bengal showing some Muslim youth carrying swords and weapons and brandishing them in the
Hmm.
are shared as the Muslim youth inciting violence against
Hmm.
Hindus in the
Hmm.
Haryana.
Hmm.
And another video shared as Surat from Surat and Telangana. Old video shared as
Hmm.
recent incidents that are happening in the Haryana.
Hmm.
So usually there are two kind of videos like uh, some videos are both old and unrelated.
Okay.
So in such cases, we debunk them based on the time period because they are old and already posted in the internet.
Hmm.
So it's easy for us to debunk. But some videos like this West Bengal youth Muharram procession
Hmm.
videos, they are actually they happened during the same time frame. That is during the July 31st or something like that.
Okay.
So it is hard for us to debunk such type of videos because no major news media reports them because they are not that
Hmm.
significant.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we debunk them based on the technologies like Google Street View.
Okay.
Like for example, in the West Bengal video you see on the screen, we compared the visuals of the globe seen in the viral video with
Hmm.
that of the Street View.
Right.
So that's how we debunked and said the viewers that it is not related to recent Haryana
Yeah.
violence and it is from some West Bengal,
Yeah.
not related to it. So similarly, users can also check out by doing reverse image search and by searching on the Google Street View,
Yeah.
Google Earth, and they can inform themselves and always not depend on the news channels and fact checkers. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a very valid point. And But yeah, before we come back to users fact checking and all of that, we had our Independence Day, of course, just 2 days ago, and Such occasions often lead to a rise in misinformation, and I'm guessing that happened this year too. So, what kind of posts did you debunk this time around?
Usually, on the occasions like Republic Day and Independence Day, misinformation is mainly related to the freedom fighters and the political
Mm,
leaders like
mm,
that.
yeah.
Similarly, during this time, there is a couple of viral narratives was shared against Mahatma Gandhi. Like for example, in one pic shows Gandhi receiving a shave from the barber,
Mm,
and the narrative shows narrative is posted like Gandhi having conversation with barber, and he is saying that Hindus should discourage and he's saying Hindus should not use the sacred texts like Mahabharata and Ramana in their
yeah.
houses,
Yeah.
and he advised Hindus to include Quran into
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
into the houses. So and another viral narrative is that Gandhi talking in a telephone, and the claim is that Britishers had first installed the telephone line in Gujarat exclusively for the Sabarmati
Yeah.
ashram in order to have a communication with the
Mm,
Gandhi directly.
mhm,
So, but actually, in both these cases, the images are true, but the narrative they are carrying is false
right.
because Gandhi never had such type of dialogue with
Mm,
a
mhm,
barber, and he highly respects the Hindu scriptures and always put them in high regard.
mm,
And similarly, in the case of telephone, the first telephone line in Gujarat, in where the Sabarmati ashram located, was installed in 1897,
mm.
much before the Gandhi came back to India from South
South
Africa, which
Africa.
was
Yeah.
in 1915.
Yeah.
And also, the pic you see is not from the Sabarmati ashram, but it's from Maharashtra ashram.
Mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm. Yeah. We've done videos also, of course, in addition to the articles on factly.in on these two stories, and they're all up for you to access. And yeah, anything else of importance from the past 2 weeks that you'd like our viewers to take note of?
We are seeing the rise of these crypto trading platform scams. Uh, they start like usually the websites which promote such type of scams are some unknown websites are registered with unknown identities
Mm,
are like that. Usually they carry the logo of prominent media outlets. Like for in this example, they put the logo of Indian Express
mm.
so that the
Yeah.
users can trust the
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
websites. So what they say is some businessmen from India like Nandan Nilekani, Narayan Murthy, Gautam Adani, like that. They are opening their own crypto investment
Mm,
firms,
mm.
and they ask the users to register the link provided in the websites in the article
Yeah.
by giving information like name, PAN number, Aadhaar
Mm,
number, emails, and all details. Yeah, usually, in sometimes they also want users to invest directly through the
mm.
websites, which is actually dubious. Actually, this type of scam website attacks are known as phishing websites
Right.
and phishing attacks. Uh, Usually, what happens is if you give the information to this such type of websites, they use the information to gain access to your devices or some to do some financial frauds or to blackmail you. Such type of activities they do using the information. So it is always advisable not to share personal information or financial information to such dubious websites. In this case, Indian Express has also issued some warning about misusage of their
Mm,
logo
mm.
by the dubious websites and warn the users to be careful with such items.
Okay. Yeah, we've done a stop and spot version, a shorts version of this also on video, and we've named four different millionaires, but of course this will keep
Yeah,
happening. Internationally, there's also
yeah,
there's an Elon Musk version of the
yeah.
same thing. So it's up to you to be very careful when you come across such posts, and do not enter your personal details anywhere. Uh, all right. Thank you so much, Harsha, for that update. We will now move to the next team. But in the meantime, I would like to remind our viewers, or for viewers joining us for the first time, that we have a WhatsApp tip line. uh, where you can send us any kind of viral posts that you come across on social media or messages you receive on WhatsApp or whatever it may be. You can send them to us on this tip line, and we will send you the relevant fact check if it exists. If not, we will look into it and get back to you. But of course, the first most important step in all of this is that you have to be alert, and as we always say, before you hit that forward button, pause, or in a lot of cases, before you click on those links and enter your precious personal details, make any transactions, just please stop and look out for red flags. And of course, if you're unsure, we are always here to help you. Okay, that said, we are moving on to the next team, which is the newsroom. Hi, Bharat. Thank you for coming back to the Faculty Digest.
Yeah, hi Parvati, hi everyone.
Okay, so very important stories have been written on the. Of course, that's the case always, but this time especially. Now, we've all read about the very disturbing incident recently where um, a railway protection force constable shot at and killed a senior colleague and a few
Passengers as
innocent
well.
passengers. Now, this led your team to probe into a broader trend related to this, which is the mental health and the armed
Yeah,
forces.
that's right.
So, take our viewers through your journey of going through this data and what exactly these sources were.
Yeah. As you pointed out, Parvati, that was a very unfortunate incident. So aftermath of that incident, like one thing, what was alleged was the constable who has shot these three passengers
Mm-hmm.
and the senior personnel was suffering from some mental issues.
Mm.
And there was also and there was a close watch on him, like if he may commit suicide and all. So that led us to actually investigate on what are the number of suicides or what are the what is actually are the working conditions as far as the armed forces are concerned. But unfortunately, the data was not readily available. We tried to look into different sources, like for example, we have accidental death and suicide report in India, which which the government publishes. Data was not available there. We tried to look into a few of the other home ministry websites and all, but wherein even there the data was not available. But what we were able to find is a couple of answers which the government has responded in the parliament. So in the Lok Sabha, there were like two questions wherein the government has provided this information when the question was asked. So that became the source for our information, wherein we were able to find out some information around what were the number of suicides committed by armed personnel during the last decade or so. That was how we got the data.
Okay. And what were the main findings that came out of this
Oh yeah,
analysis?
there are some interesting findings. Like first thing is like if you look at when I talked about armed forces, I'm referring to the military as well as the paramilitary forces that we have. So military forces, and that is the army, navy, and air force. So what the data shows is like since in the last decade or so, the highest number of suicides were committed by army personnel. Like they were 900, around 900 suicides, and this number is compared very much higher when compared to the combined air force as well as navy. So that is one case of concern. And then we looked into the next data, that is the paramilitary forces, that is Central Armed Police Forces that we have, CAPF. And even there, what we could notice is over the last decade or so, there have been more than 1,500 cases of suicide. And most alarmingly, nearly one third of those suicides were in the last 4 years, that is since 2020. That has been one case. And within the CAPF, the CRPF, the Central Reserve Police Force, that accounts for the highest number of suicides. That is 400 suicides were there. While these numbers are one fact, another a more concerning aspect is the suicide rate among CAPF is higher than the suicide rate of the whole of India is concerned. And this has been a continuous trend which we can see around. And a reflection of this thing is the attrition rate in CAPF is very much high. That is, in fact, in the last 5 years or so, nearly 50,000 CAPF personnel have left their jobs and moved out of it. So this sort of indicates and might be an unfavorable work conditions or something in these armed forces. But a more unfortunate aspect is that we do not have much data on it. There is not much study or research which has gone into it, wherein we conclusively cannot say what are the actual factors which are influencing these things. So this is part of the armed forces, the suicide in armed forces story that we did.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, very unfortunate, like you
Yeah,
said,
that's
but you know, but on a on a tangent entirely, is the other story that, of course, has been in the national media over the past 2 weeks, and has really gained a lot of traction. Is, of course, the no confidence motion that's been moved in the
That's
Lok
right.
Sabha by the opposition against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now, this again prompted another important story for you, for your team this fortnight. So take our viewers through the basics of the story.
Yeah, sure thing. Like as I said, it has been in among in the national narrative. The last 2 weeks, people have been talking about. The media has been talking about the no confidence motion. And so, might be before I get into the numbers, might be I'll just take a step back and discuss about what is no confidence motion and confidence motion, so that our audience is also clear around it.
Sure.
So basically, no confidence motion is something which the opposition moves against the government.
Yeah.
It might not always be because because they have the numbers. It could also be a case wherein like they want a response from the government. Like in this case, wherein you see that India clearly has a majority in the parliament, but the opposition wanted a response from the government as far as the violence which is happening in Manipur.
Yeah.
That is where they move the no confidence motion. Whereas on the other side, a confidence motion is something wherein the government moves on itself. Like if they want to show that they have the majority in the parliament, if there is some doubt around it, they move a confidence motion. So that is the difference as far as no confidence and confidence motion is concerned. Now coming to the numbers, including the latest one, no confidence motion which happened, there have been total of 28 instances where there have been no confidence motions. Whereas the first no confidence motion was during the third Lok Sabha, wherein it was against Nehru, wherein we had a no confidence motion moved. And in fact, third Lok Sabha as well as the fourth Lok Sabha have the highest number of no confidence motions, that is 6 each.
Mhm.
And among the prime ministers, Indira Gandhi has faced the highest number of no confidence motions with 15. And she's way ahead when compared to the second place, which is Lal Bahadur Shastri and PV Narasimha Rao, who have 3 each. In fact, Narendra Modi, it was the second no confidence motion that he has faced across. And as far as the discussions, like discussion is a very important part of any no confidence motion. The first no confidence motion faced by Lal Bahadur Shastri, it went on for more than 24, it was around 24 and a half hours across 6 days. That was the longest debate which has happened for a no confidence motion. But whereas when I'm talking about an speech, or Narendra Modi happened to break that record. He spoke for 2 hours 12 minutes in the recent no confidence motion, which broke the record of Lal Bahadur Shastri in his when he was addressing his I think it was his third no confidence motion. So
Okay.
those these are those few of those numbers. And then trivia, might be the audience can take it, is that none of the no confidence motions were successful. Like everything which have been moved by these things. And coming to confidence motions, there have been 12 confidence motions so far. And Atal Bihari Vajpayee had faced 3 confidence motions. And the third one proved to be unlucky for him, wherein he lost by just 1 vote. So these are some interesting trivia. You can maybe check out the story wherein we have these interesting numbers on it.
Yeah. Very interesting indeed. And we will be providing you the links to these stories in the description of this live. So maybe 5 minutes after it has concluded, just refresh your page and you will find the URLs. Of course, I think they're also appearing on the live chat right now. But for the record, we will also keep it in the description once we conclude. And I think we do not have any questions right now, but no matter, go through the stories, go through our content, get back to us, write comments on our YouTube videos, reach out to us on social media. We are at Factly India across platforms. So DM us, write, post comments on the kind of content we post there, and definitely follow us, because it's a lot of really good information that you're getting on the go, especially. So if you are spending time on social media, you might as well make it constructive, not to be preachy. So that's that. So yes, definitely ask us your questions and we will get back to you. And the next edition of the Faculty Digest will be on 31st August, which is 2 weeks from now, around the same time, 6 p.m. IST. And until then, of course, follow us on our social media platforms, subscribe to us on YouTube if you haven't already. Consider joining our memberships, and yes, reach out to us through all the means that I've mentioned, comments on our content, and the WhatsApp tip line. Very importantly, the number is all across our website, our YouTube banner, all of it, and I'm sure you can see it somewhere on your screen even throughout this live. So yeah, definitely do all of that. Reach out, stay in touch, And we'll see you, of course, at the next edition of the Faculty Digest. And until then, through all the content that we post daily on our YouTube channel and other places. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.